Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Tower. My name is Zee Garcia. Today, I'm dropping some A's to your Q's, and let's do this. Gatorade. It's what fuels you. It hydrates better than water. They fixed water finally. Mmm. Okay, everybody, what's going on? Good morning. Good morning. I hope you're having a fantastic Monday so far, folks. Good morning, good afternoon to some of you. I guess some of you are in places where it is already afternoon. What is that about? I'll never understand it. I understand it. I'm just kidding. Please don't explain it to me. Hello, looks toxic. This one's okay looking. Some of the stuff they put out definitely looks like nuclear runoff. All right, everybody. So like I said, we are going to get going here with a little Q&A in just a minute. If you have any questions for me, I'll do my best to answer them if I want to and feel like it. It helps me to see it if you write question something. Okay, question colon and then something that'll help me spot your questions. I'm also going to make this a little bit bigger here so I can see. There we go. Okay, good stuff. Volume is okay. You guys can see me. All right. Before I go, if we transform what's happening into a Q&A, maybe this would be what's happening. That's right. Halfway through, if you guys don't entertain me enough, I will pull out a game and start playing it. That's the threat. All right, before I get going, I do want to talk about Dice Tower East, folks. DicetowerEast.com happens July 1st through the 5th. It is a board game convention with a tremendous board game library, lots of fun people to play games with. Basically, just an amazing getaway that happens in Orlando, Florida. Go to DicetowerEast.com, get your tickets. As it says on the screen, it is your last week to get tickets before you have to get them at the door for more money, like a dum-dum. It's also the last week to get into our hotel room block, and that's going to come with some goodies that only go to people that stay at the hotel. Plus, you get reduced parking costs. You're right there on site. There's a bunch of different perks you'll be able to get. The resort is amazing, if nothing else. So there is that, and you can walk downstairs, walk across a little path, bam, you gaming. So check that out, everybody. It's getting close. It's becoming real, y'all. DicetowerEast.com, July 1st through the 5th. Orlando, Florida. A stone's throw from Disney, too, if you want to do that. You want to send the family and stay playing games? You can do that, too. They'll be fine without you. They've got the mouse. All right. Let's see what we've got. Hola, hola. All right, let's start right here. Are there any... Ooh. What is with that font? Background. There we go. That's better. There we go. Okay. Sub-Zero Leon says, are there any out-of-print board games you would like to be made again? There's a few that I think should be in print. Sure. There's one of them being made now that just got announced and crowdfunded. Goa. Goa was one of those games that I thought needed to be in print. It's a very good Euro game. I mean, a classic Euro game, very simple in a way compared to the kind of Euro games they make now, but it should be in print. It's a robust game. And Quined is making that game again. So I'm very happy for that. As far as other games that are out of print that I can think of the top of my head that I think should be in print, there's so many games that I wish I could tell people, oh, you should go get a copy of this, but I don't know if they need to be kind of like mass market available, right? Because that's the thing. Something being in print demands or, needs for that thing to be able to sell 5,000 copies. Otherwise, it probably shouldn't really be in print, and you should just kind of find one aftermarket. Anyway, that's my non answer. This is interesting. How do you stop the board game hobby from becoming a disease? Penicillin. I'm not sure what you mean. Just, I'm guessing you mean like taking over. I guess the best way is do other things. Spread out your hobbies. Do something else. Take up, I don't know, whittling or something. Just do different things. That helps. Diversify you as a person and your interests. All right, here we go. Question, says Max Gray. What makes you prefer to play a game online versus in person? Theme, mechanics, components, etc. Well, first of all, I would choose to play a game in person with somebody else 98% of the time over playing online or playing, Board Game Arena, something like that. The reason to play that is you're learning and you are concerned about making mistakes. A structure that prevents mistakes is certainly interesting and welcome. And then the other one is upkeep, man. Like the themes don't really matter so much. I can't think of a mechanism or a theme that I'm like, I would much rather play this virtually than in person. And certainly many themes or game styles like social deduction fall apart if you take away the face-to-face interaction. But some games have so much upkeep, so much shuffling, so much, persnicketiness, minutia that playing online can help that. And you can kind of figure out if you like a game enough that you'll put up with that stuff in person by playing it online first. Okay. Random question: how did Board Game Bliss, as a Canadian seller, become a sponsor? I don't know the inner workings of that sponsorship, but I will say this: I know that Board Game Bliss is opening I guess, a branch, a storage facility. Again, I don't know how this works. Point being, they're opening one here in the U.S. I think in New York, something like that. So, them being a Canadian only seller, I believe is going to be changed soon. I was going to say corrected. That sounds messed up. Penicillin. Hello Z, says BG Rule. I'm guessing BG Rule, not Big Rule, but either one works. Have you had a chance to play or try Age of Galaxy? Has a good solo mode too. No, that is the one from Portal Games, or they reprinted anyway. I have not played that game. JB here says, looking forward to the Dice Tower vacation. Can't wait to finally meet you guys. Absolutely, same. Say hello when you're there. Floppy Zedolphin. Floppy Zedolphin. I'm guessing that's how I'm supposed to say it. Floppy Zedolphin. He has been trying to retrieve many things. Floppy, fetch! Hello! What's the best game to play on a train or a plane? You have pretty different space restrictions, actually, depending on the type of train. On a train, if you get the right seat, you'll have actually a nice little table in front of you, right? You can sit, a couple of people facing 2 and 2, and then a pretty decent little table, and you can play whatever you want on there. Maybe not a stacking game, but something relatively small. On a plane, that gets a lot trickier, and I would recommend then on a plane, anything that you play in hand, you can play. There's not too many of those, but the only one that happens to be in my mind, because I just saw it online, is an upcoming game from Chip Theory, I think, and it's called Dragons of Etching Stone. It's a game you're holding, so you have it in your hand. And then anything from like, not anything, but a lot of games from Bud and Shy would work on a plane. They tend to be 18 card micro games, something of that nature. Or just something that's sort of social deduction and happens up here instead of on a table, and you don't need a lot of table. That could be fun too. You don't want to bother people around you. But other than that, that could work. This is interesting. Brendan had a spin-off of that previous question. Do you prefer playing on BGA or a physical game if I'm playing solo? I'm guessing that's what you're asking me. I still enjoy playing just the bits. I think board gaming, part of the satisfaction I get anyway from board gaming is the tactile nature of the game, looking at artwork, picking up a card and looking at it up close and going, that's cool. That's cool artwork. Um, rolling real dice, stacking bits, moving things and tapping cards, and just even weird sensory things like picking up a deck of cards you shuffle and then smelling that smell of a used bookstore kind of smell. Those things add to the sensory enjoyment that you're having with playing a game. Not to take away from playing online. Again, there are a lot of benefits there, right? But my preference is still with the real deal. Red Panda Games says at Dice Tower East, can we sign up to play test a game that you're designing? That would require that I be designing a game, so no. Mr. Heller says, have you had a chance to play the newest Aeon's End Beyond the Breach? No. I have some Aeon's End stuff I am still sitting on that I am not caught up on, so no, I'm definitely no more, please. Not right now. I've got some stuff I need to get up to speed with. I'm excited for it. I've just been unable to get it played. But I'm glad to see that they're still making some more of this stuff. Man, that game is unstoppable. Unstoppable. All right. Ludo Crasiawi. Nailed it. Hi, Z. Question. Have you tried Frosted Blooms? I can't talk this morning. Let's try that again. Hi, Z. Question. Have you tried Frosted Blooms from Bruno Catala and Ludovic Montblanc? Will be edited in English. Greetings from Uruguay. Well, first of all, greetings. I have not played Frosted Blooms yet. We have not gotten a copy of that. I think it's coming out in English. Pandasaurus, maybe? Somebody's putting it out in English, but I have not seen it. It hasn't come in yet. When it does, I'll check it out. All right. Gemma, right? Gemma Harper. That's a cool name. Harper. Gemma Harper. Hey from Scotland. What's your favorite game mechanic and why? My favorite game mechanic or mechanism. I like mechanism, but that's fine. Oh, that's a good question. I like drafting a lot. Card drafting is fun. Open drafting, closed, sort of passing a hand of cards, drafting. What is my favorite mechanism? I'm trying to think of my favorite games, and then I'm going off of that. Man, there's so many good ones. I like dice a lot, and then I'm sorry, I like cards a lot, and then dice would be my next thing. So card-driven things are fantastic for me. Like I said, drafting or whatever. Deck building I find to have become very repetitive. So that one's dropped for me, but I can see it being such an interesting space. And then dice rolling as well. I split you choose. I like that a lot. The one-way track mechanisms, I like that a lot. Time tracks or whatever. There's so many good mechanics, mechanisms. I'm trying to think. I feel like I got something on the tip of my tongue that I'm not getting because I'm trying to think of what are the ones that if I see on a box, I'm like, ooh, I'm intrigued. I might have to come back to that as I think of more things. Okay. Tomato Josh. Hey Z, what is your favorite TCG game or TCG style of game at the moment and why? Okay, if you are counting living card games, then that would be Marvel Champions. The why is pretty easy. I play the thing all the stinking time. If it is trading card games only, random, TCGs, collectible card games, CCGs, then Star Wars Unlimited likely is the most robust one right now. I still very much like Magic the Gathering, but that's sort of like this beast that cannot be tamed, and I don't get into competitive Magic, so I'm definitely on the outskirts of that, looking in at this behemoth. I've played Lorcana. I like Lorcana. I like trading card games. Riftbound I thought was neat. I haven't played too much more of that since a review went up. We did a review of that, and I haven't really touched it too much more. Mm, but the living card games, the cooperative living card games, are definitely all three of them. The Arkham Horror living card game, Lord of the Rings to a lesser degree, and then Marvel Champions. All of those are tremendous. All right, Z, back the Kickstarter reward for lunch with you and Camilla at Gen Con this year. Well, thank you. I can't wait. That's awesome. Champ can't win. I just got a thumbs down. What's up? What did I do? Do you have a favorite place to eat while in Indy? My goodness, do I have a favorite place to eat while in Indy? There used to be a place just like you would walk out of the convention center where the food trucks used to be. That road, you would walk down that road, and there used to be an Asian place right there in the corner. I don't think it's there anymore. They would have sushi, stuff like that, and it was really good. I liked that place a lot. There's also you guys, if you're local, you'll know what I'm talking about, but I don't remember the name. There is a deli a few blocks away. There's this really nice deli, and I went there once or twice, and it is really good. Uh, let's see. Any crowdfound game you are paying attention now? I'm guessing you mean if there's anything on you know GameFound, BackerKit. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, Kickstarter that I'm paying attention to right now, that I'm following right now. Oh, right now, live right now? I don't think so. Not at the moment. Like not right now. It happens once every few months, maybe. You know what I mean? I can't remember the last time I was like, "Ooh, I'm intrigued by that." I think the last one was the Witch Hunter game from Solo Game of the Month, because it was touted as like a similar game to Marvel Champions actually, and I love the artwork. So I was like, "Ooh, okay, Witch Hunter, kind of like The Witcher meets Marvel Champions." I mean, okay, David Secret says, question, do you feel games are often too abstracted and should have their mechanism be more thematic? No, I don't think I do. I think every game is going to be obviously abstracted, and I do not find the abstraction of those things to be, generally speaking, heavy handed. I think designers are very smart with what they choose to pick or invent as a mechanism to deliver their theme. I think most of them do a good job. I think board games tend to be very thoughtful. The only time I feel that way is every now and then I'll play, and it just happens to be the mechanism that falls prey to this. I'll play a deck building game, and it feels like the designer, the development, whoever kind of has a cool idea for a game, and they don't know what mechanism really goes kind of hand in hand with that game. And so deck building seems to be, I'm not going to say easy to make, but it's an easy barrier. It fits a lot of things. So you, if you don't know what to do, deck building, because you can have a lot of different ideas and a lot of different cards. You can, the resource system of a deck building game has been perfected, right, by Dominion, by games like this. So you can just kind of lift that up wholesale, put it in your system, maybe make a couple of little tweaks, bam, that game will work. 90% of that game is kind of done at that point. And so I generally find deck building to not really represent what it's doing half the time. Now, if you are building an Iron Man suit and the game is a deck building game, that makes a lot of sense. You are getting better pieces. You are, putting those better pieces into play. He is becoming a thing. But most deck building games don't have that kind of thematic integration. Uh, but no, the answer to that question is no. I think most games are thematic enough. This is an interesting question from Jacob here. What changed Marvel Champions from a good game to an all-time great for you? Was it playing it more or the expansions making it even better? I mean, both of those things certainly are true. I think more exploration of the game, playing with a lower player count. The first time I ever played Marvel Champions, the first time ever I played with 4 people, because I played at a convention. It was 4, and it was like, okay, this is long, this is really drawn out. You don't feel the cadence of Marvel Champions if you play with 4 people. The all the players take their turn. You can affect each other, but a little bit, not so much, unless the decks are really tuned for that. And then you get to the villain phase, and it's really long. You lose the elasticity of the turn is so much. You lose that cadence, that the I go, you go, I go, they go. Ooh, bang, bang. You lose that. So that's a big part of it. Being, yeah, I think just playing a lot, being enjoying, getting around to enjoying more messing with the decks and deck building, and watching other people talk about Marvel Champions content. I've just kind of got more into it. You know what I mean? It's been a slow burn for sure, but it's an amalgamation of all those things we're talking about. This is some interesting stuff. Somebody's trying to break a password over here. What kind of car, make, and model do you drive? What was the last movie you saw in a cinema? What's the name of the street you grew up on? Okay. What kind of car do I drive? It is I drive a Hyundai. It is a very old Hyundai. It is from 2012. It's a very old car. What was the last movie you saw in the cinema? What was the last movie I saw? I should remember this. The Predator movie? Badlands, I think. I think it might have been Predator Badlands, the last movie I saw in a movie theater. What was the last TV series you have seen from beginning to end? There's so few. So there are so few that I've seen from beginning to end. So it's going to be either House, because I've seen all of it, or Parks and Rec. So whichever one of those two I finished last, that's it. I don't. I can count on one hand. I think the TV shows I've seen all of. It's so few. Okay. This is great. Has anyone ever mentioned you have a resemblance to Jackson Galaxy, the cat whisperer? No, but I think when I trim the beard and it's really short, then I can see it. Yeah. And do I have any cats? No, I am allergic to cats. Also allergic to Jackson Galaxy. Don't ever mention him again, please. No, I'm just kidding. He's fine. I'm sure he's a great guy. He smells like cats. Did you enjoy your recent play of Star Wars Queen's Gambit? I did. It was fun. We also were like obviously live and making a big hoopla of it. We were being, bombastic, but that was fun. Hard to imagine you rolling better than you did and Joey rolling worse than he did. Yeah, that's very true. So that luck is going to help. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It is certainly a game of its time, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Restoration Games does with King's Gambit, right? Their remake of that. I'm curious to see what they do, but it's fun. It's of its time, but it holds up well. Annette Jones says, "Hi Z," or "Hey Z, hello. How did you meet Tom and become an essential part of the Dice Tower?" Well, I don't know about the essential part, but I met Tom when he moved to Florida from Korea. He was living there and he moved to Homestead, Florida, and I was living there and we started going to the same game group. Micah says, "My favorite Dice Toweree." Is that what we are? I'll take it. Um, all right. All right, let's see. We've got Z. I'm a new Dice Tower viewer this year. Welcome. And I'm also going to my first Gen Con this year. Okay, everything or anything, sorry, you think I can't miss that I should prioritize. Oh, that's interesting. There's so much there. It's a convention that has kind of something for everybody. So it depends what you're into. Do you like miniatures? You should go do a paint and take. Go check out some of the booths in the vendor hall that have paints and painting accoutrement. That's fun. If you like RPGs and you want to sample some new things, they have RPGs all around the place. If you like the idea of cosplay and you enjoy that, there's going to be a lot of people walking around in cosplay, and then they do a parade later in the week, and you can, take a seat near where they go and then watch the entire thing and enjoy that. If you like shopping for board games, there's going to be, of course, a vendor hall with a lot of booths in there. We have a booth in there. It is 149, 150, I think, is the number of our booth if you want to come check us out. And so you can do that. You can go in there and shop. Do you like artwork and kind of getting, indie artwork from people? There is in that vendor hall an area, the Artist's Alley, and they'll sell artwork and they'll sell play mats with that artist's artwork, and you can get things signed by people. It's really cool. There's so much, you know what I mean? And so that's the thing. You kind of have to figure out what you want to do. There's events, of course. You can go to a lot of different events, panels, things like that. The main thing is don't pick a thing or two each day you want to do. Don't over schedule yourself, because there's also a lot of impromptu things you want to leave yourself open to see. You're walking by and there's a little band playing and they're dressed up, they're playing a little diddly, and you're like, okay, I want to check these guys out. That's a funny song or a fun little bit they're doing. You want to leave yourself time to do those things. So don't overschedule yourself either. All right. Gleason says, love, love, love. The random top 10s dropping recently. Very good. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying them. Dragons of Etching Stone is basically mini Mage Knight from what I've heard. Oh, okay. Did not know that. There's a cat and dog version? Come on, man. I blame Jackson Galaxy. This is interesting. Question: how do you manage people who come to a game night right after you're done explaining the rules to a group and there's no other table they can join? I find it difficult to deny them to join. That's tricky. That is tricky. It just happens sometimes. It depends on a lot of different factors. How long is that game going to be? Is anybody else about to wrap up? I can kind of take the temperature of the room. Well, that team's about to, they're about to finish. I can see they're near the end. I'm sure you can jump in there once they're done. Is this a game they've played already, right? If so, that's pretty easy. If not, How long is this game gonna be? How serious is this game? Can they kind of fudge it and keep up a little bit and get it in a couple of rounds? Is it gonna really affect the game? Is it a very serious game? Um, you make that judgment call based on so many different factors. Are they leaving if they don't get into a game, or are they like, oh no, go ahead, I can chill and I'll wait on something else to open up? I personally, when I go to a thing, I'm not honestly, when I go to any gaming event, it takes me a little bit to warm up, I'll call it. You'll see me do it at Dice Tower East. Anywhere. I'll walk in and I'll like walk around. I'm kind of enjoying seeing gaming, watching gaming, and I start getting then ramped up for gaming, right? Um, so I would not mind showing up at a game night and seeing what's going on and being like, "Oh, okay," and I watch this, and I see this person has a stack of games over there, and I see what they might be playing next, and I start getting jazzed up about it. So it really depends. Ash Blurry says, "Question: Do you have a favorite theme for games?" Hmm. I like Cthulhu stuff for sure. Zombies, anything like ooh spooky, tentacles and evil things, and like oh you are a warlock and you are a necromancer and that kind of crap. I like that stuff. Um, fantasy, I don't mind fantasy as long as it is not too generic and as long as it is, I feel heroic, I guess. Or I'm like the evil like dungeon master, and I'm luring in heroes or something. That's fun. I tend to like horror themes though more than sci-fi, and then that more than fantasy. And somewhere in there, real world settings I really like too. Like Pandemic is a real world setting. It's a fantasy scenario, but it's a real world setting, and I like that a lot. Um, but yeah, horror, spooky stuff, ghost stories, Cthulhu Death May Die, that kind of stuff. And then I like Marvel things too, Marvel Champions, Marvel United, all the Marvels. Comic book hero stuff. Any hidden talents you are willing to divulge? No, I couldn't tell you. Okay, let's see here. Any of you at Dice Tower that actually like to play longer games? Everything under 5 hours is a waste of time. What? Um, sure. I think a lot of longer games get played. I think Tom is probably the one who likes longer games the most. He likes big epic campaigns. I know Camilla likes big epic campaigns. I'm okay with them. Not my preference. I like to waste my time. That is a crazy take. Everything under 5 hours is a waste of time. Wow. All right, David says the trend I see from publishers is that games are going simpler with shorter playtime. Is this something you notice as a request from players, or do you think the drive is to attract new gamers? It's funny because I was just marveling a couple days ago about games going either the way you're describing or heavy Euros. Like last year was a tremendous year for heavy Euro games, right? It was, Galaxy, the what is it called? The stupid taking a trip to space. Galactic Cruise. There it is. Galactic Cruise and Luthier and Speakeasy, and there were a lot of heavy Euro games that did well, mind you, that like catch on. They're out there. They're doing well. Or the opposite, right? Little games, Flip 7 with a Vengeance, some other crap that's, you know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes that anybody can play. And that's great. And that's certainly going to welcome people. The area of the hobby I feel is being squeezed out is actually the middle. those 45-minute to an hour and 15-minute family weight games are the ones that I think have a much harder time making a splash because they require a lot of production. There's a lot of development and design that goes into them. They come out, they have about a week, 2 weeks to make an impact, or they're gone. And something else squashes over it with its weight. Speakeasy shows up, and everybody's like, "Oh, Lacerda," which is great. Or something comes out and sells, 200,000 copies in 3 weeks, and everybody's like, "Oh, the new Catan," right? So that's kind of what I'm noticing. As far as what players ask for, no, I mean, I see it all kinds getting played. I'm not noticing that. Z, have you played Vela Vista, Top City Builder? That's the one from Katala as well. I have not played that. Hasn't come through here yet. Um, let's see. I'm guessing you don't receive unpublished games / prototypes, correct? What would be a way besides published to get a game to you and have it possibly played? Would you be more open if the mechanisms were interesting? No, just no time. We don't have the time to play something that isn't published because I need to be able to do my job, and my job is mostly review games. I can't review a prototype, so no, I don't have the time. That little time I do have that isn't on the clock, so to speak, I want to play a game I want to play. You know what I mean? I want to play Marvel Champions. I want to play, I don't know, I want to do something for me. I want to play a game I really enjoy but haven't had a chance to play. So that's a big part, certainly, of why that is. Plus, if we said, "Oh yeah, we'll take prototypes," we would be inundated by prototypes of all types and sizes and qualities, and that's a problem. Question: why do you think the board game hobby, gets so hung up on jargon? I've started using mechanisms just because so many people have a much stronger reaction than your chill preference. Um, I don't think it's just board game hobby. I think a lot of different pursuits and studies get hung up on jargon. People just get hung up on jargon. And I get it. It's not, you know, it comes with comfort and it comes with specificity, and people like both of those things. I do anyway. I think a lot of people do. Um, so I don't know. I don't think it's just the board game hobby. I think you might be noticing it because you're kind of looking at it. But I think if you shifted your side to anything else, I mean, I feel like a lot of other things make a bigger deal even than we do as board gamers of jargon, right? Mm. The Broken Beard says, how do you store TCG and LCG card games? Maybe a video on your best way to store in conventional games. How do I store those things? I have a couple of different things. I mean, I have some boxes from, like magnetic boxes with card lanes. And I have one of those, like I keep some, Marvel Champions in that, and then some Arkham LCG in that. Besides that, I have some plastic boxes that also have a hinged plastic lid, kind of, cheap plastic. And I have trading card games in that, like some Magic the Gathering in that, some what's in there? Just old trading card games in those things. And then I have a few, mostly unused, but I do have a few cardboard ones, the kind you buy bulk and then fold the bottom and then fold the lid, and you put a cardboard, those white, really plain looking, milk white kind of boxes. Those are good for sort of mass storage. Um, as far as like something nice, I have a couple of, Gamegenic storage solutions which are neat, but those are more to like keep what I'm currently playing. Those are a little nicer. Those are not like bulk storage, you know what I mean? Those are like, I want to take this with me, so I put it in a nice game-genic, academic or something. What is happening out there? There's like a squeaky car going by. Very squeaky. Shapiro's Deli. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. That must be Mike. He knows. That's right. I think we know who's on the DT account today. Hi, Mike. That's right. Halo says, hi, Z. Hello from the Netherlands. All right. Hello. Hope to see you at Spiel. Yes, I believe you indeed will. Who from the crew is going, and what do you think Spiel can improve now that it is becoming so big as Hall 8 was added? As far as what they can improve, I have no idea. I think Spiel is run pretty well. I think they do a tremendous job, especially considering how enormous it is. If they needed to add a hall, I'm assuming they have a good reason to do so. As far as who's going, I don't know who's going. I assume I'm going, but I assume like Tom's going. I don't know. I'm sure we'll have a presence there. Every single name that's going, I couldn't tell you. Ludo here is asking, can I recommend some cooperative games that can be played in under an hour, language independent, and are easy to teach? I'm sure I could if I had the time to go through my list. I don't right now, but this is exactly the kind of question you should just ask on Board Game Geek. Board Game Geek is such a hive mind. You will have, within an hour, you're going to have a bunch of amazing suggestions. Or just go do exploratory clicking on Board Game Geek. Go punch in Pandemic is a fantastic starting point, right? Pandemic is about an hour. It is not quite language independent, but there is a tag for that on Board Game Geek. So you do that and then scroll down to where it says other games, like this. And then you just click on another one and do it again and sort of go exploring or ask a straight up question. It is tricky with the language independence because I feel your pain. I definitely I used to play with my parents, with my mother specifically, a lot more than I do now, but it would have to be language independent. And a lot of things are immediately out. Micah says, I haven't seen a Silo themed board game. I'm guessing you mean Silo like the show. I've been working on a 2-player version. Have you enjoyed the Silo series? Season 3 is coming soon. I liked the first season quite a bit, and I watched a couple of episodes in the second season and kind of fell off of it. Again, I really have a hard time sticking with TV shows. I get distracted and I start watching something else. I like movies for that reason much more. I can start, finish, I'm done. So, yeah. I'm assuming a board game based on that would be cool. Yeah, that sounds neat. Did you like the Predator movie? I watched the first 15 minutes and was pretty bored. I'm guessing you mean the Predator Badlands movie. I like it a lot. I love this. This is this is so reductive. I love it. When at cons, Tom gets hats, Joey gets food. What does Z get? What do I get? Hopefully games. I mean, or games played if nothing else. What do I get? I don't know. I get to go. I get to be there and play games with folks. Thoughts on Radlands? Did you ever play the expansion for it? Yes, I like Radlands quite a bit. I like the expansion. I'm pretty sure I have reviewed the expansion. I think I did. I think I put it in like a little roundup of small expansions. I don't know. It's been a while. All right, so this is fun here. Cam Obscura says, do you have a favorite or top 3 maybe Marvel Champions hero? A ranking video could be fun. That could indeed be fun. Stay tuned. That's coming soon. I'll say this: keep an eye out post Dice Tower East. Okay. Speaking of Dice Tower East, folks. Speaking of Dice Tower East, bam! DicetowerEast.com is a convention we run in Orlando, Florida from July 1st to the 5th. If you want to come and play games with myself, with the rest of this crew, with a lot of other amazing gamers, many of whom are in here right now, and a couple of thousand more, then make sure you get your tickets, DicetowerEast.com, because this is the last week to get those tickets discounted. You can wait and get them at the door, but you'll pay more at the door. And you're not a sucker. Do not be a sucker. You get them now. Okay. It's also the last week to get to be part of our hotel room block, where you get perks. You get to stay on the hotel. You get reduced parking. You get access to that amazing pool that they have at this beautiful resort, the Caribe Royale. Look it up. Go to DicetowerEast.com. Look up just the Caribe Royale. Is a gorgeous resort. And you can just come downstairs, walk across, bam, you're gaming. Okay, that's why you want to stay there. One of the many reasons you want to stay there. So check that out. All right. Dice Towerer. Will you be doing a review of or comparison of First Giants and Elysium? I believe Chris is doing a review of First Giants soon. I don't know about a comparison. Is the Origins convention in Columbus good? Origins is good. I haven't been to Origins in a while. I think they're mowing outside is what it is. Keep it down. I'm live in here. They're walking away. Origins is fine. Origins, I've been to Origins a few times, but it's also been a while. So I don't know if it's become less interesting. I don't know if it gets less coverage. I really don't know what the issue there is. I don't know if it's getting smaller. But you're right that it does not get the recognition or the press that Gen Con gets, that Spiel Essen gets, conventions like that. It is not that big by any means. This is interesting. Cam says, are you optimistic that CMON will turn things around and get some of their open campaigns ultimately delivered? I am. And I think there's a few reasons for that. They have followed through so far on not running any more crowdfunding, working behind the scenes to get these things done. From the little bit I've heard, they are trying to do that. This is an earnest pursuit. It was not lip service, right? They were not saying like, oh yeah, we'll deliver this. They're working on it. And then the other reason is because a lot of these things, like the ones you listed, DC United, Deceased, are tied to intellectual properties that they don't have the rights to. They got those rights from a different company that worked with them. For DC, they work with Spin Master. And so I feel like Spin Master would drag them over the finish line if they needed to get these things out. I don't think they'll need to, but my point being, there are a lot of forces at play here. So I think these things will happen. They're taking a while, but I'd rather they be done right and deliver than the company sort of push out something to say, hey, look, we published it. Now we can die in peace, and then die. I don't want them to die. I want CMON to still be around. Because I did like the games they put out. Whatever you think of the company, how they ran things, how they didn't, I don't know. Looking at a game from CMON, I can take that game and go, I like this game. Most of the time. The Broken Beer says, what is the difference between a game being reprinted with a new theme and a new game with the same mechanics? I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Those two sound like the same thing. If there's a new game that comes out and it has the same mechanics as the old game, every mechanic is the same mechanic, then that is a reprint of that previous game. And if they have a new theme, then it's a reprint of that previous game with a new theme. And if it's a new designer that is not the designer of the old one, and maybe a new publisher that is not the publisher of the old one, if there is no connection there, but the game is the exact same game, then that's kind of fishy. And maybe somebody should have talked to somebody because those games are the same game. I'm not talking about being inspired by, right? I'm talking about the same game, which does not happen, to be fair. There are a lot of games that are really close, and that feels a little like, But that 1-to-1, it's the same thing as the game being reprinted with a new theme, which happens all the time. But that company will generally be upfront about, we got the rights to this game, we just don't like that theme, or we think we can do it better, or whatever. This is the new theme. Happens all the time. Clear off the table. Thank you. Okay, so we're at booth 249. I was mistaken. I said 159. Or I'm sorry, 149, 150. It's 250. 250, 249 are the same booth, okay? Because we have our booth is 20 feet, so the slots are 10 feet. So 249 and 250 are the same thing. I have an easier time remembering 250 than 249. But there you go. That's where you want to be. 249. Come by, see us. We'll take a picture together, or you can buy some merch, and I'll deface it for you with my signature. It'll be great. Okay. Oh my goodness me. All right. Is there a newer designer or mechanism you've been really enjoying lately? A new designer or mechanism I've been really enjoying lately. This is so difficult, you guys. Let's see. Tell you right now. I'm going to look up some stuff, okay? Bear with me here. Give me a second. I'm going to look up some games. Come on, internet. You bum. Wow, that is really slow. There we go. Who have I been enjoying a lot lately? I've been enjoying I've been enjoying Johan Levitt, who is a French designer. I think he's French. I've been enjoying, maybe he's not French. He might be, I don't know. It doesn't say here on BGG, unfortunately. Johan Levitt has made some great games. Dewan, I really enjoyed. Johannes Gupi, I like him a lot lately. There's a bunch of new, there's like the new wave. I don't know, new is, maybe a little reductive, but these French designers are coming out in droves now and making fantastic things. I've been enjoying that a lot. New mechanisms, I could not put my finger on that. I don't think there's any new mechanisms that in my mind I'm like, oh yeah. But as far as new designers, yeah, there's a lot of that. There's always some new designer coming out making something amazing that I'm like, this is cool. This is great stuff, All right, sorry. Let me do this. There we go. Have y'all gotten to play King of Tokyo Godzilla yet? Is it a reskin or does it do something new? I don't know how much of that I should say because I don't know what's public yet. I will say this, I have not played it. It is a real thing that exists. I can say that much because if you know about it, then I guess I'm supposed to know about it. Do you dislike mechanically heavy games like many Euros because they turn into a math exercise as opposed to a heavy game like Arkham TCG, where the complexity is from other sources? That's an interesting question. It is about, I think, the processes of why that thing is heavy, right? Is it heavy because of the math? It's not normally the math I'm concerned about because of the The arithmetic is not that complicated. I think it is a heavy, rules dense Euro game tends to be harder to reconstitute the abstractness into concrete thoughts. It's kind of like, powdered milk, right? A Euro game is like clumpy powdered milk. It will not reconstitute into milk as well as some thematic games that have a lot of rules, because I can take that rule once I learn that rule, I will contextualize it. I understand why it's there and what it means. What is it attempting to simulate that rule? Whereas in Euro games, that isn't always the case. I cannot take a look at, I don't know, Trajan and look at some of those, like in this one, you have to play polyominoes, and the polyominoes have to be touching. Well, why? Why do they have to be touching? I understand that it makes it a tougher puzzle, but why is that what it is? What are you trying to represent? And if that's not anything I can hang my hat on, that's a harder game. The rules are heavier, right? That's, I think, what it is. Okay, Kara says, if you were going to submit an unpopular opinion for hot takes, what would you send in? What would I send in specifically? Well, I don't know. We did do some sort of our own hot takes. We did our own hot takes video that they recorded, I should say, at Essen Spiel. So you can check that out. You can just look that up, or maybe somebody will pop in a link in the chat here, Kara. But that's myself and Mike and Tom did our own hot takes on stage in front of a live audience there, so you can go check that out. All right, let me see if I can catch up a little bit here. I've only got a few minutes. Have you played Animal Resource Team? I think it's Animal Rescue Team is what you mean, but I love the idea of Animal Resource Team. That's great. I've not played it, no. Have you done a top 10 list where previous editions were better than the current edition? No. It would be hard to do 10. They exist for sure, but doing 10, it would be a little tricky. Did your Gen Con booth move? We did move. We're a little closer to the door, yes. You'll probably enjoy Bella Vista. It's gorgeous. Okay, cool. Max Gray says, for context, my other 4 hobbies are much less picky about jargon. That's interesting. Is it discussed less, though? Is it a hobby that is not as, like, talkative amongst the hobbyists? Is the lower sugar Gatorade trash, or is it as delicious as donkey juice? I'll tell you what it is. It's lower sugar. That's all I was going for there. It's okay. I'm not the biggest fan of Gatorade. I just figured it could help with a little sodium, a little, some electrolytes. It's okay. It's not bad. Definitely better than that crap they made with cucumber. Ugh. Is it as delicious as donkey juice? You must be out your mind. No. Francis Higgins says, bonjour. Hello. What are your favorite heroes from our champions? Again, stay tuned for that, folks. And how stoked are you for the upcoming Daredevil? That's looking good. Very, very good. I just learned what TCG is, trading card game. What is an LCG? Living card game, which is proprietary wording for games like trading card games that Fantasy Flight Games puts out. That's the publisher. And they're called living card games because it is non-randomized delivery of cards. When you buy a pack, we just mentioned Daredevil, there's a Daredevil thing coming out. When you buy that, and I buy it, we got the exact same thing. Everybody explained it immediately after, but I bet they didn't do it with the gusto that I did it. With all the LCG talk, you're just not into Earthborn Rangers. I like Earthborn Rangers, but Earthborn Rangers is a campaign game only. I can't do anything else in Earthborn Rangers, right? Even Arkham Horror LCG, which is campaign based, I can take the Essex Express and just play that. I can do a one shot. I can't do that in Earthborn Rangers, so that's tricky. I want to play more of it. I enjoy the game. I think it's well put together, really neat. I just would love one shots. And as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong. As far as I know, you can't do that. Did you finish your Oathsworn campaign? No, we have not done that. Unfortunately, we moved away from our third player, who now is hours away. That got tricky with the move. I unfortunately have to say. Sounds like a 2012 Hyundai. What about it? Oh, outside? 100%. I like that. Go out there and you gotta help him out. Help out that suspension, okay? Get him some new joints, CV joints. All right, I'm trying to catch up here. There is that review of the expansion to Radlands. Dune Uprising digital releases tomorrow. It might be time for me to finally play Dune Uprising, because I've only played the original. It's just one of those things I never got around to playing it. So maybe I'll finally play this. I might even feature it on What's Happening. What is the youngest age you would think could enjoy the Dice Tower East Con? Oh man, what is the youngest you can be to go? That I don't know, okay? But there's like so many different things there. My goodness. Yeah, I mean, even just playing the dexterity games in the halls is its own blast. As young as you are allowed to go is the answer to that, because I don't know what that is. Y'all need to stop talking about squeaky things in the background. Sorry, I'm kind of speed reading here. All right, so this is interesting. Paola here is saying, my Latino family loves Domino's for the silent partnership and mind reading. Absolutely. Typical recommendations like King Domino miss the field entirely. 100%. Yes, those are not the same thing whatsoever. Teach You feels way closer than any tile layer. Yes, I get that. The partnership of that. Any recommendations with that team strategy for non-gamers? Renature? No. Again, I can't think of another game that's going to give you that same feeling of dominoes, of like knowing, oh, my partner just had to pass because they got squeezed out with a 5. Okay, I got you, fam. And then this person over here just had to like knock on a 3. I'm going to squeeze the heck out of you, you know? So no, you do not get that. You have to understand how it works. I think a lot of people think dominoes and they think like, oh, the things you stack and knock down. No. Dominoes is a great social rich game. But there's not a lot of other things like it. Teach You, yeah, some partnership trick taking games is about the closest you're gonna get. That's it. That's it. Maybe some social deduction games, like the Resistance. Maybe. There's nothing quite like it. You know, the closest thing, you already kind of hit the nail on the head, is Teach You and other trick taking games, where you'll have a little bit of that, but nothing's quite like it. All right. Johan is French. Okay, cool. I'm glad I got that right. And this is Mike. Cancel that. Mike is Heller. Just put up the hot takes link that I was telling you about. So just look that up. Hot takes, spiel, or there's that link. Have I gone to see Masters of the Universe yet? No, I'm debating if I go see it in the movie theater or just wait and check it out when it comes to streaming or whatever. I really like Masters of the Universe, but I don't know. I don't go to the movie theater a whole lot anymore. It has to be something that really catches my eye for me to go, and this one's looking good, not amazing. Do you even get to play games at Dice Tower West or East? I do get to play games there. I'll teach games. It is filled with gaming, so yes, absolutely. I'll do a few things I need to do, run panels. Like I got some, workload type stuff, but then most of my work is playing games, being around, interacting with folks, doing that. So I do that a decent amount, unless, of course, if I see you and I'm running somewhere or doing something and I can't jump into it. What I don't like to do, what is unadvisable, is scheduling games. It's just tricky. Scheduling games is a nightmare. So you have to catch me at the right time, unfortunately. That's what it is. All right, let's see. We're going to wrap up here very soon, folks. There's 2 questions, and then we're going to wrap it up. I'll scroll to the end to make sure, but that's going to do it. Hi, Z. I'm looking to buy an unmatched game, but I don't have much funds to buy multiples. If I had to invest in just one, which one would you recommend? I think thematically is the main thing you want to think about. If you like Marvel, get one of the Marvel ones. If you like, I don't know, what based on what it is. But I will say this, all of that being equal, if you don't know which one to get, I would say get the Cobble and Fog set. It has 4 literary characters, and the set is tremendously strong thematically and mechanically. It has really fun characters in there. The Invisible Man, Dracula, Sherlock Holmes, right? These are great, and you're going to feel immersed in this property. So that's everything else being equal, I recommend that. If you care about a theme or you want cooperative and competitive, then get one of the big sets that can do both. So there's more to it. And then lastly, folks, this question right here. And I think this needs to be like a group discussion type question. I can't answer this on my own because no one person holds all the answers to this question. I am caught up. Okay, good. What is donkey juice? It's as much a real thing as it is a feeling, It's something you feel in your bones. It's something that you remember and makes you smile involuntarily. It is it's one of the best things on the planet. It is the way it rolls off the tongue that does some of that heavy lifting. Donkey juice. You can really make a meal out of those 2 words. That's a big part of it. But donkey juice itself is a meal. It's super nutritious and hecka delicious. It's good for you. It's good for what ails you. It transcends time and space, says Mike Heller. It's part of the collective unconscious, says Mike Delicio, I'm guessing. That's what it is, baby. And on that note, folks, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate all of you. Let's get this off the screen. Thanks very much, everybody. You've been fantastic. Thank you. I loved it. I thank you for spending some time with me. Make sure you check out DicetowerEast.com. Again, I look forward to seeing you there in, 3 weeks or so. It's around the corner, y'all. Go check that out last week, okay, to get your tickets early. So that's going to do it, everybody. My name is Zee Garcia. Thank you again so much. I'll see you on the next one, folks. Have a lovely, lovely day. Bye.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vassell. Thanks for watching this video. Check out our channel. We have a lot of videos on our channel. We have live videos that go up each week, from live Q&As to videos where we take a look at the newest stuff on Kickstarter, crowdsurfing, to top 10 lists and more. There's lots of stuff on this channel. We encourage you to explore it. You can find out more at our website, dicetower.com. I'm Tom Vassell. Thanks for watching another video on the Dice Tower.